Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. I'm Boom Gonzalez, and in tonight's game plan, we'll break down what has happened and what may happen in the second round of the UAAP Season 85 Men's Basketball Tournament.
We'll also take a far look ahead as our analysts make their predictions on the UAAP schools' ranks by the end of the elimination round. And we'll give you a rundown of today's biggest games in the NBA regular season, featuring a pair of overtime thrillers. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game.
We love this season because there are no clear favorites in the UAAP as teams continue to one-up each other game after game. And joining us to discuss the huge upsets last Wednesday and the exciting Saturday battles are UAAP champions. We have champions in the house, Prince Rivero, and of course our analyst, Mr. Primetime, Coach Willie Wilson. They are ready to go.
They are.
So ready to go.
Yeah.
Wait, Lasallian champions, mind you, all right? Both of them.
I was with my brother at the time, so...
Yeah.
It's my job to just call them champions.
Yes,
in
that's
general.
true. I will just remind where they're from. Let's go first to the first two sets of
Yes.
games here. Before the upsets muna.
Okay.
Again, UE defeating UST in what has been a game that medyo expected for that UE should get.
And bounce back yun for UE.
Absolutely. And then, of course, UP getting the job done against Adamson. Coach, obviously, two results that were not really surprising. Is that what we expect from these two schools the rest of the way?
Yeah, well, UE, obviously, they're going to have their ups, their downs. But one thing about UE that I really like is that talent level that they have. They've added size compared to last season, and I really, really, really enjoy watching the Paronado brothers. Those guys are just dynamite on the floor.
And of course, UP, Prince, sorry. When you talk about UP playing the way that they are, and you take a look at this result, 91-70 against a team that took them to overtime last time around, I think that is what they expected more of themselves.
Well, true, but as how I see it kasi is, yung scouting report talaga nila served or played a huge part sa lahat ng games nila. Because siyempre, my dad was part of the team and I know what's happening. So, alam ko kung paano sila mag-prepare talaga each game. And nakukuha naman nila yung trabaho na binigay nila in return.
You know, I think what's surprising, Pao, when you talked about the UP and Adamson matchup is that it didn't go into overtime. Because UP and Adamson in recent memory has always been fire.
Yeah,
Sobrang right?
feisty.
So UP didn't want any kind of accidents yesterday. But, all right, speaking of accidents, no accidents though, that FEU is on a roll. And their latest victim, I'm sorry, manggaling na sa akin, DLSU yesterday, 4-game winning streak after losing the first 5. A lot of them considered, wala na, hindi na mag-Final Four to. Tell me about that game. Unfortunately for DLSU, there were some injuries, there were some health issues, but FEU, we got to give it to them.
Yeah, well,
Coach?
I mean, the biggest thing is that they saw, okay, Shawnee's out, Michael Phillips is out, Evanelli's out. We're not going to take the rest of these guys for granted. You know, they still had the big names there. KQ was there, Mark Nonoy was there. So that's more than enough firepower for LaSalle to be dangerous and to pull off a win. And FU, they went there, they did their job. They played with that same energy, that same fight, and that defense that they put out there, that pressure defense.
Yeah. Pero Prince, you look at what LaSalle has been going through. Kanina pinag-usapan natin that ever since that win against Ateneo, medyo downhill yung LaSalle from that point on. And what do you make of what they did against FEU considering na may injuries nga sila?
Nahirapan lang sila kasi siguro wala sila talaga nung leader na katulad ni Nele na nag-floor general talaga.
Right.
Kung sino yung nagko-control ng lahat ng nangyayari inside the court. And that's important. So, ang kailangan siguro ng DLSU now is for someone to step up and fill that role by not doing too much naman.
Yeah.
You know, but by not doing too much and at the same time, yung ma-enforce niya yung gusto niyang mangyari sa team na maging one page sila. Yun.
All right. Okay, so there are some concerns on the DLSU side. And then some celebrations on the FEU side,
Oh.
obviously, with everything that's happening. Okay, NU defeating Ateneo. After 13 consecutive wins by Ateneo over NU, they got the job done yesterday. They bounced back from their worst defeat from the first round, talking about NU. How did they get it done, Coach Willie?
Or you and I covered that game
In the Phil Sports Arena,
in the
you're right.
first round, where with the first 2 plays or so, Omar John did what?
Foul trouble.
He got in foul trouble right away. And this game, it was a total opposite. His presence alone, him being in there, they caused 25 turnovers, and they held Ange Kwame to what, 2-3 points?
Right.
Which
Even
is
Padrigal
I
too,
mean,
yeah.
I mean that's crazy. So Padrigal was 1 for 6, I think, from the field, but they did it on the defensive end. And having Omar John in the paint, that presence, that inside presence to
Changes
match up with Ange, just changed the game for them.
Yeah, and Prince, syempre, when you look at this NU team defeating Ateneo, actually sa simula nga, at the start of this body, sinabi natin that we're talking about upsets. But then, based on what we've seen from NU recently, is it really that big of an upset, or are we just waking up to the fact that magaling talaga yung NU?
I played for Coach Jeff before, and knowing his system, doon talaga siya nagsistick sa depensa, and at the same time, yung kung paano dapat i-involve yung isa't isa doon sa play na nangyayari. And nakikita naman natin yan. Siguro kung titignan mo yung mga top scorers na top 10 or maybe top 15, konti lang doon yung from NU. Not because they're not scoring well, because they're sharing the ball and involving each and every one of the players inside na nagkakos din ng confusion sa kalaban to, di ba?
I like what Jolo Manansala said at postgame. He said, "We just want to be part of the big boys and beat the big boys." That's a great quote
That's
for
true.
them. All right, crucial matchups. You have a couple of minutes. NU versus FEU is going to be big.
Yes.
We did the last one, and it was a muggy match. 47-44 yung final score. Ateneo and LaSalle will be big because of the stakes also, not just because of the rivalry. Your thoughts on those two matches, Coach Willie? You go first.
Well, talking about NU, FEU, they were in that slugfest. It was a defensive battle. Shots missed. They both built brick houses on the court, and they're both coming off big wins. And I'm really excited to see how they sustain that momentum. FEU, they're riding off of all this emotion, fighting for that Final Four. Can NU stop all of that emotion, that aggression, and come out with the win?
And of course, Prince, that is sabi natin that it's okay if LaSalle loses as long as we beat Ateneo. But then there's so much more at stake now, it feels like,
Yes.
going to this next one.
Totoo. Iba talaga kasi yung feeling ng Ateneo versus LaSalle compare mo sa ibang teams. I'm not saying na dahil sa rivalry.
Oo.
Pero yun talaga eh.
Yeah.
Yung feeling mo pag nandun ka, the energy that you feel and how you think, everything, as in lahat talaga na enhanced eh. So when you're inside the court talaga, pag Ateneo LaSalle, doesn't matter if you're here or wherever, bilog talaga yung bola and anything can happen.
And maybe this is what they will need.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll
Absolutely.
see, Paolo.
Well, let's see. And gentlemen, you're still going to be here because after the break, we'll find out who our guests think will make the Final Four and who will skid down the rankings at the end of the elimination round of the UAAP men's basketball tournament. They don't know each other's answers. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to the game. So much things happening here during the break. Oh my goodness. After a thrilling midweek quadruple header, the UAAP standings are as follows. UP is at the solo lead while NU and Ateneo takes up slots 2 and 3. UE, FEU are tied at the 4th and 5th spot, while Adamson and LaSalle are tied for 6 and 7. My oh my. UST second at the bottom with just 1 win so far. Still with us this time to talk about what they think the standings will look like at the end of the eliminations are Coach Willie Wilson and Prince Rivero. Gentlemen, you don't know each other's answers.
Kala ko sabihin mo, you don't know each
Oh,
other.
you don't know
So
each
let's debate.
Well, let's start off with this first because start off with the Final Four, siguro, because that's going to be the biggest points of contention. All right? Coach Willie, who will make the Final Four in your humble opinion?
And what position?
Yes.
All right,
Importante yun.
I got UP at number 1.
All right.
I got NU at number 2. Yeah, here's where I get the money. I got Ateneo at number 3.
Okay.
And surprise, surprise, I got UE at number 4.
Yep.
Okay, sige, ikaw muna, Prince, before we debate and justify all of this.
We got the same answer. What? Yes.
Exactly.
Really?
Hey, and we did not share notes. That's crazy.
So having said that, Coach Willie, was it the NU game yesterday that changed your mind, that gave you the opinion that NU will be over Ateneo at 2/3? Or even before the game yesterday, you were thinking they would be the number 2 team?
Okay, so talent level, toss up, right?
Yep.
Which team is stronger? Toss up. But by virtue of NU winning over Ateneo, I look now at strength of schedule, strength of remaining schedule, and who is the strongest opponent on paper,
Right.
yet there for NU, and it's LaSalle.
Okay.
So,
And we see what is happening with LaSalle right now, the injuries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
see
mean,
it.
and I see NU being able to also win that game.
Okay.
So, by virtue, if they win out the rest
Okay.
of the season,
Don't get mad at me. I'm just asking the questions.
hey, man, I gotta put it down.
Yeah. No, so if we brought up the rankings a while ago, so DLSU at 5, FEU at 6 for both of you. Aren't you convinced at all by yung run ng FEU ngayon? Because they look like a completely different team from what they started. As we take a look at the standings there again, isn't there a chance, sa palagay mo, that FEU could actually overtake a UE?
Well, they're being consistent, actually, this past few games. But I've been with Coach Olsen, and I know Coach Olsen, and he gives players chance na to shine. And by doing so, you give them the confidence. And hopefully, who knows, di ba? Malay mo, magtuloy-tuloy talaga yung confidence build-up ng FEU. And they might be that upset.
Be that upset.
So having said that, are you still sticking UE over FEU?
For now, yes.
Okay. And the reason is why. And please, Coach Willie, come in also after that.
I'll give you my reason.
Why UE? Because I want to know also.
Okay, UE because, like what he said, the brothers, they're showing very good basketball IQ inside the court. And also the system that the coach gave them, it fits
Jax.
them properly. And parang lahat ng players nila saktong-sakto dun sa gustong mangyari ng coach, na kahit wala silang import, yung gusto nilang mangyari, nakukuha nila.
Yeah.
Which is hard kasi you have to perfect, if not master, kung ano yung binibigay sa'yo ng coach to be able to maximize a good outcome.
Okay, your reasoning, Coach Willie.
I mean, plain and simple, I default to which team has the best player on the floor. And for
between
me,
UE and FEU?
For me, yeah, between UE and FEU, and for me, it's Villegas.
Okay, Luis Villegas.
And his positional versatility, being able to play the 3,
Yeah.
the 4, and the 5. Yes, FU has Pat Chuente.
Yeah.
But you play Villegas at the 5, Pat Chuente now has to go out to the 3
outside.
and guard Villegas out there. We know that Pat Chuente doesn't really post up. You know, he's a monster on the glass. But with the way that UE team rebounds, I think that they can overcome that. So I default to which team has the best player.
Okay.
Okay, so another big talking point here is that Ateneo don't have a twice-to-beat advantage in both
And
of
that's
your
something
rankings.
new.
That's
Something new, right?
Something new.
Coach, why do you feel that they're not going to overtake the likes of NU and UP?
And now I'm going back to strength of
Schedule.
remaining
Okay,
schedule.
okay.
And who is still on Ateneo's schedule? It's the big UP Fighting Maroons.
That's right.
And
Okay.
And Lasal on Saturday.
Okay.
Oh,
Speaking,
we're a big game
No,
also.
we're
Lasal-
talking about strength of schedule.
No, this is great. I love this segue, Prince, because I have to ask, since the three of you are from LaSalle, why is LaSalle not there in the top four? Just give us, the viewers, a reason.
What can we say that's hard for TV?
You go.
Okay, all right. First and foremost, when are they going to get healthy? Shawnee has a calf thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Evanelli's coming back from suspension. The food poisoning.
Right.
Yeah.
And then my man's right here used the word off air that I'm not going to say, but I'm going to let him find a way to ease that in.
Okay,
Sweating.
wait, are we not giving Adamson respect also, Pao? With the parang wala, there won't be any surprise, you think, in the second round?
Actually, it's interesting because in their rankings, they actually go down a standing ranking point.
Adamson goes as far as Jerome Lastimosa takes him, and we just know what happened to him. We don't know
Yes.
the severity
The extent, all right.
of the injury, but we know that he is not 100%. Obviously, yes, a lot of Coach Nash's players have stepped up, and just like Coach Olsen gives his players confidence, same thing with Coach Nash. But still, they go as far as Jerome Lastimosa takes them.
One last question before we go. So, what is a more contentious race? The race for that number 2 seed, which gives you a twice a beat advantage, or the race for the number 4 seed, which right now is between UE, LaSalle, and FEU?
It has to be number 4.
Yep.
It has to be number 4. He said, like he said, below Gambola, you don't know what can happen. If you can hit a hot streak like they've been doing and take it up another level.
Unpredictable lahat ng teams.
Kaya ang saya.
And that's
Kaya
why
ang
we
saya.
love the UAAP.
That's why.
That's true.
And I have another question, but I can't anymore. Don't miss out on some weekend basketball fun. A lot of things are going to happen over the weekend. We'll find out as the UAP is live on One Sports Plus, the UAP Varsity Channel, Signal Play, and Smart Giga Play. But, okay, when we return, we shift over to the NBA regular season action as the Los Angeles Lakers and the Cleveland Cavaliers got the job done in overtime. Stay tuned. You're watching the game. Welcome back to a feisty edition of the game after a fully loaded game
Oh
day.
my goodness.
11 games today in the association. The NBA regular season is more exciting than ever. And as we are always a fan of overtime thrillers, we'll be talking about a pair of OT wins courtesy of the Los Angeles Lakers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I guess joining us tonight to break down the games today and more, our PBA 3x3 player Prince Rivero and NBA Philippines All-Star analyst Coach Willie Wilson. Let's get to it, guys.
I think we're going to start off with the Lakers because,
A whole segment nga daw eh.
yeah. My goodness.
Breakthrough.
I know what's coming here. What is?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know where to start, to be completely honest. But Coach Willie, I'll have you. What's the most surprising thing about that win? Because there were so many shockers in that game for a lot of good reasons for Lakers fans.
What's surprising is why Trey Murphy sagged off of Matt Ryan. Well, that's surprising to me.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, he's in there for one reason and one reason only, to shoot the three-point shot. And then you see Trey Murphy just like looking around like, where am I supposed to be? So that in itself is a shocker. I can tell you something that I'm not happy, that I'm very happy about, that in the end of the game and in all of overtime, there was a specific former MVP that we did not see on the court. So that is something that I'm happy about.
Yeah, and right now his photo is on the screen, just perfect for it. And
Exactly.
Prince, your thoughts?
Okay, like what I said nung last time, someone has to get traded. Someone has to get traded, and I think a fresh start is what they need.
Don't say someone, say who.
Okay,
LeBron?
Russell Westbrook.
Alam ko LeBron.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook.
Wait, but what about this? I'm gonna just poke the bear here.
Okay.
What about this whole coming off the bench deal? Maybe this is the answer.
I
Come
mean,
on.
like, he's obviously the sixth man of the year.
Come on.
Look, hey,
He has
first
something to
and-
say about it.
First and foremost, the less Russ, the better. All right, so people are saying, "Oh, Russ off the bench, it's great, it's working now." The dude had 6 turnovers. Come on now, the next closest player on the Lakers had 3.
Yeah.
And that's somebody that played 40 plus minutes. So, you know what? The less you have him on the floor, the better.
I love the volume went up.
Yeah, it did.
I'm adamant about this.
I know you are.
And I'm very, very firm
Okay.
on how I feel about he doesn't belong with the Lakers, with that team.
Okay. So let's move on to another matchup.
All right, guys.
Let's
Relax
talk
lang
about
muna.
Boston. Get your competitive juices. Boston naman tayo.
Come on,
Cleveland.
Lakers.
No, but Cleveland. Hey, are they, for real? Darius Garland finally played. We saw the combination with Donovan Mitchell, whom Paulo already lost in the offseason. Tell
right.
me about your thoughts about Cleveland. And beating Boston in overtime.
Okay, so Cleveland, they're so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that they do on the court is so fun to watch. And by saying so, when a team is fun to watch, it means they're doing something good. And when they're doing something good, most likely you're going to win. And that's just basically it.
And they get more national TV coverage.
Absolutely. And, the way that they're playing, really entertaining, as you mentioned a while ago. Coach Willie, one of the biggest issues that people thought that Cleveland's going to have is the fact that they have a tiny backcourt in Garland and Donovan Mitchell. But so far, at least one game sample size and the offensive firepower that they all pack, it doesn't seem to be something that would bother them. Are they a contender in your mind right now in the East based on the early returns in the early season of the Caps?
Contender to win the NBA Finals, maybe not yet. Again, they have not been tested as a team. Making the playoffs, yeah, I put them as a top 4 team in the East today. Yes, they are fun to watch, but so were the Clippers back when they had Darius Miles and Q.
Oh, now you're just hating on the other LA team. Now you just needed to.
But they didn't win.
You just needed to throw that in. Okay, weekend preview tayo because we have a really nice matchup. Phoenix Suns doing very, very well.
Yes, they are.
Portland Trail Blazers, couple of stumbles. They started off really well and then they lost to Miami, lost again today, but should be a good match. Your thoughts on Phoenix? Have they learned lessons from the previous years?
I just think they have to stick to what they know and, just play the way they're supposed to play or play the way they're playing right now. Because
Yeah.
they're doing really good.
Yeah.
And they know that they can be on top. They just have to stay healthy and finish strong.
And of course, the Suns, of course, was still one of the best clutch teams in the league early here in the season. Of course, Trailblazers. Unfortunately, Dame Lillard won't be playing in that one. And let's see whether or not the young guns can step up. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Always.
I wish everything aired, including the commercial breaks, but then
I got it on.
we love our jobs.
I got it on my phone, by the way. So watch out for my
Post it,
IG
post
stories.
it,
No, we're good.
On that note, folks, don't miss out on the explosive matchup between number 1 and number 2 in the West. The Portland Trail Blazers go head-to-head with the Phoenix Suns. Catch that face-off this Sunday live, 10 a.m. Manila time on NBA TV Philippines. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
And I'm Paolo Del Rosario. This has been The Game.